Put your hand behind you and it goes up, all the way up. So you're going to create, now with your dominant hand, go down the front. Kim, want to turn on the lights in here, see if they work?
Mm-hmm.
Down. And shut that fan off if it's on.
I got it.
And around. Okay, so this is the energy pattern, how it works. It goes down the front and up the back. Now use both hands, and you're going to go down the front. It goes around and up the back. It's done very easily. It's done by using a breathing technique. The breathing technique, we're going to inhale down the front, and when we exhale, we're going to exhale up the back. Now, there's some positions that you want to put your tongue on. You want to take your tongue and you want to move it back to the soft palate. So if you move back, you'll feel like if you ever watch a baby sleep, you know how they put their tongue up and they go to sleep and their tongue's on the top of their mouth?
Move it back.
Yeah, you move the tongue back. The reason why we have two centers in the body. We have one coming up the front and one going from the spine. It goes up and over the head. The central and governing meridian in acupuncture. So those are two circuits that connect. Okay, and when we put the tongue together like that on the top of the mouth, instead of it being apart, you would get, sometimes it's a syndrome called Kundalini Syndrome. So a person will be sitting, they'll doing meditation, and it's scary to people. So I've heard people say, oh, I don't do any meditation at all because I was doing it, and then all of a sudden things were flying in the room, and I started shaking around, and I'm not doing any of that stuff, and that's voodoo, and that's not for me, and I'm going to church, and I'm going to pray that I never see it again. I don't want to see that. Okay. The reason why, they haven't had the proper training in meditation. So what this will do is this will teach you how to use that so you don't get those, those like energy shocks. Sometimes we'll be doing something, we're playing with electricity and we don't know what we're doing. We put something in there, wham! I remember we had this drinking fountain in an office years ago, and something was wrong with a plug, so my partner said, oh, I'll fix it, and he was taking a screwdriver and tightening up the little thing, and he touched something, and all of a sudden he went from this wall, wham, to that wall in a second. That's a lot of energy. It's just not the energy you wanted. Okay. So you place the tongue on the roof of the mouth. That connects central and governing meridian. Now this is helpful. You see people in meditation, sometimes they're sitting like this, sometimes they're sitting like this. These are called mudras. They're different hand positions of what they do connect things. The lung meridian starts here. Know what a meridian is, everybody? I'll tell you.
No,
okay. Okay. Yeah, let me tell you a little bit. There's a series of rivers, like rivers of energy running through the body. And the Chinese discovered this, thousands of years ago. And they're called meridians, or we call them meridians. And they're like, there's an energy for the lungs, it travels down to the thumb. Then there's a river or an energy field, a meridian, for the large intestines. There's one for the stomach, one for the spleen. Every organ has a series. So energetically, we're a series of rivers of energy moving through the body. So when I do acupuncture on you, I go to a certain acupuncture point where I can affect that river of energy. So let's say there's a blockage in your digestion. So I would probably go to the stomach meridian and I would place needles in that area, or I would start to move doing Qigong, starting to pull energy so it gets the river of energy back in balance. Okay? It can become unbalanced from mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, psychological. Somebody can hit you, disrupts things. So what we want is we want all those rivers moving the way they should, and then because the river of energy, which is qi, feeds everything, and then blood and oxygen follows, we stay healthy. So the idea is to keep our organs healthy. If our organs are healthy, then we don't get sick. You don't get sick muscle, or usually you don't get sick muscle. You usually get a lack of flow of blood and oxygen to the muscle. then you tighten that muscle up, and then you have like a sick muscle. You have more of a cramp in there, right? But you'll get more of a liver problem because you drank too much, or you got hepatitis, or a lot of anger in your, they all have emotions. So that's what the meridians are, like a river of flowing energy. Okay, so we're wanting to get everything flowing properly, moving so we're healthy, right? We want to take in more energy. Okay, so let's get back to the meditation part. This is the lung meridian, and this is the large intestines meridian. So when we connect the two, it's called Gama-ling, It's holding these 2 points, so it gets the energy to flow smoother through the body. Because when we're doing a form of meditation, we want everything to flow smoothly, right? That's the idea. Because you don't want to be sitting there jumping around and you're just, boom, and you're saying, this is ridiculous, I don't like this at all. We're looking at relaxation, opening up, able to take in more energy and then use that energy for your growth. Okay, so a lot of times the person will sit, and there's some postures that are important. You want to sit either cross-legged. I'll take off my shoe for a second. Like you'd sit in a yoga thing, or if you're sitting in a chair, sometimes you'll find it a lot more comfortable if you sit on the edge of the chair. You imagine your chin's pushed back slightly because the structure is very important. Your tailbone's just tucked a little bit. It's like just tucked a little bit. The chin's back. You bring your shoulders up to your ears and then drop them. Move your head around a little bit. Yeah, I know it's funny at first, but what you're doing is you're letting go of all the tensions, letting your body relax. Okay, I'm going to sit with my legs cross-legged because it's a little more comfortable for me, at least sitting here. And I'm putting my hand in this position, right? And I'm taking my tongue and putting it. I can talk with my tongue there, so I'm going to put my tongue there. And now, what I'm going to start by breathing, and I'm going to imagine the breath's coming in right into my third eye here. Like it's coming in, like this is a vacuum cleaner. And with these 2 eyes and this middle eye, I'm sucking in the energy. So the energy's coming in, or breath's coming in. It's going down to my throat, down to my heart, down to the solar plexus, down to the sex center. It's going around the crotch. And when I exhale, it's going out. So I'm inhaling down the front. It's going around my crotch and exhaling up the back. Can you do that, everybody? Yeah. How's that? It's a little different than the way we usually breathe, isn't it? But what we're going to do is we're starting to train that breath to go this way because the breath's moving through the different chakras, and as that does, it'll start to balance out all these energies and you'll be able to take in more. Okay? So let's do it again. So you're going to inhale like a vacuum cleaner. The energy's coming down into the forehead, down to the throat, down to the heart, down to the solar plexus, down to the navel, down to the sex center, around the crotch, and then when you exhale, it goes up the back. How are you doing? You getting it? Okay, let's do it once more. Inhaling, breath comes in, moves down, down to the heart, down to the solar plexus, down to the navel, down to the sex center, around the crotch, and up the back. Simple enough, right? So now, let's say we all go to the museum. And at the museum is this extraordinary piece of art. We all want to touch it. We want to lick it. We want to hold it. Somehow we want to like commune with that piece of art. But there's a guard there and a thing and you can't touch it, right? But you're going, oh, it's so beautiful. I just feel, somehow you want to like hold it or squeeze. You do it with babies all the time. You pick up a baby and you want to bite them, right? We all do that with babies. choo booty booty boo. You see grown adults going, oh, chico choo booty booty boo, right? What are they doing? They're just sitting over that baby just going, oh, it's so delicious. I want to bite it. I want to kiss it. I want to hold it. Okay, we do it with kids and we get it right away with little ones. You go to the art museum, it's the same thing. Sometimes you're so overwhelmed, you're just going, oh, it's so beautiful. Or if you get up early in the morning and you're out on the ocean and the sun starts to come up, you just go, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, I'm so glad I live here. You just want to take it in somehow, right? You want to like take a bite of that. Ooh, ocean, sunrise. Oh. Right? We're trying to get that. We don't really have a way of doing it. This meditation will teach you how to do that and how to grab that energy and really chew on that energy, you know? Because that's what we're doing. We're starting to build that energy inside because we're going to start to build an energy being. And then we combine that with some of the Qigong exercises. You're able to transform your life. You'll be able to retard the aging process, and at the same time, your energy level is going to go way up. The other day I was walking with a couple of friends and had to take out the garbage, and we were walking there, and then I saw something that was so beautiful, and I just went, whoa! And they went, whoa, you got way too much testosterone. They couldn't understand. They didn't even know what was going on with me. You know, I was just like, whoa. But energetically, I felt that other, and it was just, you know, I like lit up like a light. And I'm 30 years older than one, and, you know, 25 years older than the other. And it was like, I was just lit up from that energy, you know, just as I took that in. And the idea is, once you create this energy, it's only going to build and make you stronger. So you're actually going to be able to make yourself younger, and you're going to be able to use energy and take that energy and use it for your growth on a daily level. Is it too bright, Andy?
It's
if it is, just touch.
Coming in.
Yeah, touch the.
Maybe this one.
Yeah, just push the light. You got it there? One of those will push it down a little. I don't think so. There you go.
It's all rolled together.
Everything's a little.
Everything put on one thing.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
I'll change it.
Kim, how's
Should I
that?
see here, or is it okay?
Is it okay, Kim?
Yes.
Okay, I'll get a little lighting energy.
Okay. Wait a second, we're adjusting the light.
We're
There we
good.
go.
I still see him.
Okay. So we get some lighting energy.
There, you can still see me?
I still see
Okay, great. And I can see all of you too, because before all I could see was the light, and I thought it was the energy. But I realized that part of it was the sun coming in. Okay. We're waiting for the final, there we go. Good. Okay. So, any questions so far?
I don't know, maybe it's ahead of the game, maybe you're going to touch on that. I'm following you 100% on the positive energy. I've done that actually, I don't know if it relates to what you're saying, I can simply touch a tree trunk and just feel a lot of energy coming from the tree.
Right.
And I've done that, and it is amazing by simply just touching the tree. And you just feel like, you know, the energy is coming from the tree. But I can relate to that. Maybe you're going to get to the point of negative energy.
Right.
I absolutely do what you told me. Whenever I feel there's a person that sends a negative energy or something,
Yeah.
the natural reaction is you're trying to do whatever you can create in your mind to just block that so it doesn't affect you. I found it very interesting that you said that there's a way to utilize that fertilizer. It stinks, but it makes plants grow, you know?
Right.
So it's interesting, but how do you implement that? I'm very interested. So if you're going to touch on
Okay,
that,
yeah, I am. I'm gonna
get
go
in ahead of the game.
Yeah, you asked the right question, because that's right where I'm going right now, is how to deal with the negative energy, or what to do with that energy. Like I was giving the example before, it's a rainy day, you're off to the beach, and someone else has a garden. They want their garden watered, you want a beautiful sunny day. To you it's a bad day, to them it's a good day. It's just a day. And we put positive and negative on that day, you know, if it's good for us or bad for us or how we like it. if you have a little dog, and you have this little dog on a leash, and you just love this little fuzzy white dog that you bought for about $1,000, right? It's your little thing. It comes and sits on the lap, and sometimes it poops on your rug, sometimes it pees on the floor, but you think this little white fuzzy thing is so cute, and it's your little fuzzy, and you call it Poofy, right? And you walk Poofy on the leash. And there you're walking on Collins Avenue, and you're walking down, and you're having so much fun, and Poofy's on the leash, and all of a sudden, Poofy sees a cat, takes off, runs across Collins, and something squashes it. Oh my goodness! My Poofy is kapoofed, right? Right? And you're just going, oh man! There's a tremendous amount of energy there, because you're not going to talk about the beautiful sunrise you just saw. You're going to talk about for the whole month how Poofy got poofed, right? There's more energy in that than anything you could imagine. Now, I don't suggest squishing your dog. And I don't suggest in the beginning dealing so much with the negative energy, because in the beginning we're going to do this type of exercise and we're going to deal with positive energy, because it's like a baby. You're not going to make a steak with onions and feed it to the baby, right? You're going to get like a papaya, and you're going to smush it up, and you're going to strain it, and then you're going to give and you're going to give that baby. So in the beginning, when we're working with energy, we really want to work with a positive energy. We want to work to use that energy and start to build our spiritual digestive system, because we're building a digestive system inside that we can take energy and use that. Now, in the beginning, if it's your little doggy, Poofy got squished and this and blood all over your shirt and blah, 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 and the kids were with it, it was horrible, you're going to talk about that for months. You're going to have a funeral, it's going to cost you more, $5,000, $6,000 by the time you're through. And the kids are going to have to go for therapy. Oh my, and it's going to go on and on and on, just because of Poofy, right? The sun said, it was like, it's coming up again tomorrow, right? Or the sunrise. So, in the beginning, I want to work with the positive energy, and doing the orbit and using the orbit to pull in like beautiful sunlight. Like let's say we're all on the beach right now, and the sun's just starting to come up, and the water's just rippling, and there's a cool breeze, and we're looking out over the ocean, and there's birds flying, there's pelicans, there's seagulls, all this beautiful stuff, and we're going, oh, it's so beautiful here. It's just, and we're taking that in, and we can all feel that, right? We're here in Florida, and we're able to take in that type of energy. So if we take that and we imagine that energy is coming in the third eye, it's going down to the throat, it's going down to the heart, down to the solar plexus, down to the navel, down to the sex center, around the crotch and up. So we're starting to like drink of that energy. It's so delicious, right? And we can take that in. And if you do that for a while, every time you see something beautiful, or you see a loved one, you see one of your children, see one of your friends or your relatives, you're in a place and you find it like a holy place. Like if you go to church, you feel it there. If you go to temple, you feel it there. Or if you go, I know I lived in Colorado for a long time. A lot of times you'd be up in the mountains and the clouds would be coming in, thunder and lightning would be coming down. You just go, whoa, there's so much energy here. It's like drinking of this rich nectar. So in the beginning, we're going to start with that. Okay. So after a while, and after we build our spiritual digestive system a little more, then we can start working with a little more negative energy. Okay? And it's the same process. Now, in the beginning, we do that breathing down the front and up the back. And we're all going to do that for a while. We'll do it, let's do 10 breaths, okay? So you're going to put your hands in Gamalin, holding the thumb and the index finger, tongues on the roof of the mouth, and just taking a breath in, inhaling, You can close your eyes. Inhaling, imagine the energy coming in through the third eye point, down to the throat, down to the chest, down to the solar plexus, down to the navel, down to the sex center, and up the back. So inhaling, just very gently, inhaling down the front, exhaling up the back. Let everything settle down. Remember your posture, your shoulders relax, your head's relaxed, breathing down the front, up the back, keeping your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Very gently, inhaling, exhaling. That's the foundation, or they say the pith teaching on how the orbit works. And we're going to be practicing that because we're going to start using the orbit not only to grab energy, positive energy, and pull it in our system, we're going to be using it to grab all kinds of energy and transform it. This is the alchemy. This is the basis of the alchemical process where we're going to start to transform that energy and use that for our growth. Because you don't want just energy around you or energy sometimes. You want every cell in your body to be energized. When the cells aren't healthy, what happens is they sort of mope around. But when you start to energize those cells, what it does, it throws off those dead cells and bam, you get those live cells through your body. And it's all the basis of this energy, this internal work. You know, they talk about Qigong, and we're putting a lot of energy into the movement of Qigong, but also the Neigong, the internal